An introduction?
Probably best, to be honest. No one's really going to know us, so I'll start somewhere, ain't you?
Yeah, I'm Tony. This is Stephen, Green Bay Packers fan, Philadelphia Eagles fan. We just thought we'd give this a go, see what crap people want to listen to us talk about. We're going to talk about the NFL mostly, and Stephen watches Major League Baseball and hockey as well. I don't really watch them very often. Try and catch up on
Hockey and NFL are a bit sketchy. It depends when I can catch it.
the NFL?
NHL, sorry.
NHL and the
NBA. I watch them, but it's a lot harder to watch them because of the times they play.
Yes, a little bit of a time difference over here in the UK, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of the NHL and NBA. There's a lot of games on sort of start at 11ish. So
I'm in bed by then usually. I can't stay up that late. But I do watch a lot of NFL and college football, and I've been watching flag football. Have you been watching the flag football?
I've been at work, so I've been following the highlights of it.
Yeah, I was trying to catch it today, but it's a bit difficult. YouTube gives me notifications to tell me it's on, and then when I go on it, it doesn't load in.
That's about right.
But the Green Bay Packers training camp starts on Monday.
I was going to say that I think the Eagles start next week as well.
Yeah, well, I've seen something about that. Hang on, let me open. No, I have another tab open for when. Oh, where is it? Philadelphia Eagles. Their training camp starts.
Sure,
I think it's already started. The Philadelphia Eagles will have a new look secondary this season thanks to the additions of rookies Quayon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean is supposed to be an animal.
Yeah, well, he's also really good at things like basketball and stuff. He played like 3 or 4 different sports in college, okay. I believe. And there was just after he got drafted, there was some clips going around of him playing basketball, and he was destroying people. He was like dunking on people and stuff. It was insane.
What position has he played?
So that's what caused a lot of controversy after the draft, because he's cornerback, sorry. And he's like one of the first white cornerbacks for quite a long time. Like 10 years or something to make it to the NFL.
Oh, okay.
So of course everyone's like, there's a white DB on the field again, and it's been like the last good one I think was supposed to be like 2010 or something, 2013 maybe.
He's supposed to be, according to this, one of the most versatile players that there's been in a long time.
Yeah, well, he can do like safety and stuff as well. So
he's a unanimous All-American 2023.
There was talks at one point of him possibly doing punt returns.
Really?
Yeah, he's like this really rounded off player that can do quite a lot of different things. So there's talks of him switching between safety and cornerback. So it all depends how it goes in training camp. But
could be an all-rounder, really, couldn't he?
Yeah, from the looks of it.
If we're not careful, he could be the face of Philly after Jason Kelce is gone. He's not the face of Philly at the moment, is he?
Well, he is, because
he's the face of Philly, but he's not the Philadelphia Eagles face anymore.
He still goes into the building and stuff for the Eagles, so
all the time.
Yeah,
I think every other clip I see is him still at Philly's camp.
Yeah, he keeps going in. Just had a notification that you seen that about Shaquille Barrett's retiring from the Dolphins.
No?
Yeah, just got a notification through, as it now is, but yeah.
See that. Green Bay Packers bring in veteran quarterback. That just come up. Who is this? According to a report from a league insider in report of the NFL Network, the Green Bay Packers brought in veteran quarterback Jake Fromm for a workout this week. Why are we bringing in more quarterbacks? Jordan Love's going to kill it this year.
Yeah, but you need someone half decent to be a backup, don't you?
Yeah.
Because God forbid an injury strikes and you've got a really bad third-string quarterback, your season's screwed after that, isn't it? So
Yeah.
That's pretty much what happened to us. Almost happened to us during the Super Bowl run. We had Gardner Minshew in, and he wasn't much good with the scheme that Philly were running. And the games he played, he didn't do great in with the scheme they were running. So
right, yeah. Have you watched Receiver? Have you watched that yet?
No, it's on my list. I was going to look at it tomorrow, to be honest.
Oh my God, you need to watch it. Forget all the others, right? George Kittle. I know he's a tight end, but he plays.
Yeah, but everyone says
so well.
Everyone says about him being the focal point of receiver and being like the best part of it.
Yeah, Deebo Samuel is their main receiver, if you like. But
he's a wide receiver, but he's like I think secondary for Niners.
Who, Deebo Samuel? I think he's fast.
Well, he had a lot less yards and stuff than Brandon Ayuk last season.
Last season, he cracked his scapula. That's in the receiver program. My chair is so squeaky. He cracked his scapula, so he was out for quite a while, and then every play that he got hard tackled on, it would injure it. It would injure that cracked scapula. Let me see who is in. Yeah, so you had Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, Kittle, Deebo Samuel. Devontae Adams?
Devontae Adams, St. Brown.
Ross St. Brown,
yeah. And out of all of those, I think Kittle and Amon-Ra St. Brown are the best two receivers out there for me. Out of them, 5. But George Kittle's deep, man. He is proper.
He's a tight end that can receive really well, but he can actually block as well.
Yeah, he is. He is really good, isn't he?
He'll put you on your ass if he has to.
Yeah, and he is.
He's not small either.
No, he's massive. I don't know what he weighs or anything, or his height or anything like that, but it's not just that. It's spiritual. He is. It's weird.
Yeah, he's quite a late. He's 6'4" and 250 pounds. And that's
6'4".
That's 6'4" and all muscle. That's a big man.
I'm 6'1".
As I said, it's not that big, really. I mean, that's what, maybe 2 inches bigger than me.
Yeah, I'm 6'1". What are you? 6'2"?
Me and one of the lads at work today actually checked. I'm 6'2".
6'2". And he's, how much does he weigh?
6'4", 250 pounds, which is in kilos 113.
113 kilos?
Yeah, that's what he's listed as on.
Hey, I'm
on the net.
78 kilos.
I'm, I think 107 or something.
Can you imagine him hitting you at full speed?
That would be like me, built of pure muscle, hitting someone. It would hurt.
He can run a 40-yard in 4.52 seconds.
Yeah, he's quite fast.
He is more than fast.
That's one of the reasons he was picked for the thing, because he's one of the most rounded tight ends out there. Don't get me wrong, Travis Kelce, he's a fucking good receiver. He's amazing. But he doesn't so much do all the blocking.
No. What did you say?
George Kittle's a really rounded tight end.
Right, yeah, sorry. I heard what you said, but it didn't click in my head. Good job we get to edit this before anyone watches it, because I fucking completely spaced for a second then. I was listening, but not listening.
I do all the time at the moment, man. My ADHD is getting bad lately.
It's because it's the first time we've done this, isn't it?
Yeah. Literally, I was talking to someone last weekend, midway through a sentence, and I just goes, "Oh."
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
I was like, what was I saying? Yeah, man.
Yeah. Right. Where the fuck did we go? What about Brandon Ayuk being traded? I actually seen something about that earlier. As we're on the 49ers anyway. Brandon Ayuk trade from the 49ers.
I'm not 100% sure that's going to go through.
I seen something earlier and I cannot remember what it was.
Because he put in his formal request for a trade. Doesn't always mean they're going to get traded.
No.
But he's got such good stats from last season. I think they were sort of looking at possibly like, okay, he's put in that request, he's just trying to push through for more money.
Yeah.
And then other teams have actually shown, if you're willing to trade for him, we're willing to do you a deal.
25 teams I just seen.
Yeah.
25 teams are willing to offer him $28 million a year.
Yeah.
25 teams willing to offer him $28 million a year. That is absolutely bonkers. He is good, though.
I think that's where it's backfired on the Niners a bit. Because I think they thought there wasn't going to be that much interest. Yeah, how many good receivers are in the league at the moment, and how many people have just been paid mega bucks. And there's 4 or 5 mega deals just happened where they're like 30 million plus. I mean, how many times has the market been supposedly reset over the last 4 or 5 months? I don't receivers, know. So I think
single. Go on.
I think they thought there wasn't going to be as much interest in him as there now is.
Yeah, and every single receiver that gets a new deal, that is the new cap. And then the next one comes, that's the new cap. It's like, where is the cap? Where are they cutting money from? I mean, Brandon Ayuk shouldn't be let go from the 49ers.
No, not if they want to make their run.
Yeah, last season he had 75 receptions with 1,342 yards and 7 touchdowns. That's more than Deebo Samuel, who had 60 receptions, 892 yards and 7 touchdowns. but he had a cracked scapula.
I was going to say, with his cracked scapula, that's not a bad history.
No. But Amon-Ra St. Brown had ligament tear.
Yeah.
Let me just double check that.
So he had something, I remember something about it.
Last season's injury. What was it? Oh, mate, I can't find it.
I found a thing was playing through an unreported injury.
Yeah, it was something like...
Oblique injury.
Yeah, his oblique had torn away from the bone, and he carried on through the season with that.
Yeah, to put up those numbers with that, that's... Yeah. He should ball out this season.
100%.
The Lions went on quite a tear last year. So if they don't make too many changes this season, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with through the league.
I want to see Packers go all the way to the Super Bowl, right? But all the draft picks that have happened, it's any man's guess. I have no idea who is going to...
The thing is, the Packers had a good core group of starters, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Towards the end of the season, everybody had found their groove, everybody was meshing together, and they went on quite the run in the second half of the season. Didn't start out great, but everybody was young. They had the youngest average team in the league, and
we're still claiming to be now. I just watched the run up to the training camp, and there's an interview. They're still the youngest team. They've still got the youngest receivers at the moment as well. So
yeah, the average age across the Packers is like one of the youngest, and wasn't one of the oldest, like a running back.
Yeah, I think it was. No one was older than 25 last season, but I could be wrong.
I remember it was quite a young group of guys that were all trying to find a groove together. So the start of the season wasn't the greatest, but towards the end of it, the second half of the season, everybody was getting in a real run.
See him go all the way this year, I'm hoping.
It should do a lot better.
Look, we made the playoffs in Jordan Love's starting season and beat the Cowboys, but let's face it, the Cowboys didn't play amazing last season, did they?
The Cowboys get to the playoffs and seem to just choke every time.
Yeah, when it came, I was told that the Cowboys have won more playoff games than the Cowboys in the Cowboys' own stadium. What does that tell you?
Well, the Cowboys haven't been to the Super Bowl since, I think, like 95.
Since it was.
Well, Detroit had the 30-year stretch, didn't they? Before making the playoffs last season, it'd been 30 years since they made the playoffs.
Yeah, and
I think the Lions did bloody well last season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't remember where they came because they didn't win the NFC, did they?
No, I don't think they won the NFC game, but I know they beat the first round. I think they beat the second round.
Yeah, it's in the show Receiver. I'm pretty sure.
It definitely took the division.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did take the division. I can't remember. I only finished watching it like Wednesday, I think.
Just looking it up now. So Detroit, yeah, they beat the Rams in the first round. Beat Tampa Bay the next round for the divisional playoffs. So they won in the wild card against the Rams. Divisional, they beat Tampa Bay, but lost to San Francisco in the Championship NFC. That's why Green Bay lost in the NFC round, because they had to play after Cowboys. They had to play San Fran. I think if they'd been against Tampa, that might have been a closer game. Although, no, the Packers have played Tampa instead of Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But looking at it though, the Green Bay San Fran game was 21-24.
Still, that's close, isn't it? It's real.
So they didn't run over Green Bay. So I don't think Green Bay done too bad, to be fair.
The Super Bowl was the same though. The score on that was super close.
I don't know. The Super Bowl wasn't all that great this year.
I didn't think.
Well, we watched it, didn't we, together? And it was
exactly
like the first half. Nothing really much happened.
No, 49ers were walking all over the Chiefs.
It was just like the last quarter, I think, that was.
Yeah, the last quarter was when the Chiefs started coming back.
Yeah, that was when it got real tight.
When they started scoring, then it got real tight in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean that was it was overtime, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. It was a tight game. Just went into overtime.
And they just brought in the new rules that...
You got a play each, didn't they?
Yeah, and apparently the 49ers didn't understand how the play was being done.
That's right, they elected to go first.
Yeah, so if they'd scored more points, they would have won, but they kicked. If they'd got a touchdown and then Chiefs got a touchdown, they would have had to do it again.
Yeah.
But where 49ers kicked and the Chiefs scored a touchdown, obviously... the Chiefs won with the more points. It could have gone either way, couldn't it? Really,
It was
with that situation.
Yeah, that was. I think that rule was a bit strange.
That was a new rule, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember if it was a new rule this year or the year before, but it was certainly
like,
new-ish.
Most points wins at the end. Do you know what I mean?
That was yeah. It was like little kids in the back garden. Yeah, that last quarter though was good, but the first three were just meh.
Yeah,
Which is ironic considering it was the Super Bowl.
yeah, and it was hyped up big time. And
Yeah.
even over here, we were getting into it. Not just like the fans, but I heard Patrick Mahomes on the radio a couple of times, and it's like, what? When did this become a big thing like this?
It's becoming much bigger over here. I think a big part of that is the London games.
That helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, because they come over once a year for it's 3-4 weeks. They're over different teams and what have you. Mm-hmm. What's that? It's 3 games over here. You got the game in Germany. Now you got the game in Brazil.
Yes, the game in Brazil.
That's going to be one for us, isn't it? It's
Philly.
Packers and Chiefs. Packers and Eagles for the first week.
What's wrong with you today?
Man, I've been at work. What do you expect?
I haven't worked today, thankfully. Packers and Philly.
Yeah, and whoever wins that's going to have bragging rights for probably 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Because they only seem to play every 2 seasons.
Yeah. It's a new thing as well, isn't it? The Brazil game.
Yeah, it's the first game in Brazil.
I really want, more games over here. Affordable prices. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
I mean, the big thing with it is the price. That's the only reason I didn't go last year. I got in, I could have got a ticket, but it was 80 quid a ticket.
It was more this year though, wasn't it?
And I didn't even get a chance to get to the cheaper tickets this year.
I didn't get...
I got in... but they said when it was done, you follow a link, you get placed into a queue, but it randomly places you into a queue no matter how long you've been waiting to be able to get in to look at it and stuff. And I ended up like 300,000th in the queue.
Fuck.
So there was none of the sort of nosebleeds, if you will, seats left to look at.
Fucking
it was like 250 quid plus seats. That was all I could look at. So I just didn't even bother trying. I was like, no.
It's not something you could afford to do, really.
No, I mean, it'd be good to go. But, I mean, if they'd been like 40 quid a ticket, I'd have probably paid for us both and just been like, look, Christmas present or something.
The price of them, though. Yeah. Not even a Premiership football over here is that sort of price, unless you're going, like, VIP visit shit.
Yeah,
it's FIFA and all that.
It's insane.
No, I get that. Well, I don't get it because we don't pay for their travel. They don't pay for their travel. It's team travel, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which I expect is compensated by the NFL.
Yeah, I would have thought so. I don't know. He's bullshit, is all I can say.
I do know that the Jags were over a lot because the owner of the team signed like a 10-year contract with the NFL for them to play over here at least once a year.
Okay.
I don't know how far into it is, but yeah, they got some contract with the NFL.
I don't even know.
Which is why they're over every year.
Over here. NFL, London. Well, I can't spell. Games 2024. Who's playing over here this year?
You got Jets versus Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Jags, Bears.
Jags and Bears.
Patriots and Jags.
Yeah, so it is kind of the Jags really over here most of the time. I think they're supposed to be like our home team, aren't they?
Yeah, they are a home team every time they're here.
I don't like them. They're not my team.
I don't mind them, but what I don't like is they don't seem to improve.
They don't, do they?
Do you know what I mean? They're kind of third of the league, say, but they don't really get any better than that. They're not really a Super Bowl contender. They're kind of edge of playoffs and just sort of stay there. That's where they've been the last couple of years.
The top teams over here that I see, Eagles. I've seen loads of Eagle fans.
Yeah, not round here.
The other day I was driving to work in the morning and a guy was walking up the road and he was wearing an Eagles jacket and I shouted out the window, "Eagle fans!" And he was like, "Man."
Raiders. Actually, I've seen a few Raiders. I've seen a couple of Green Bay.
Yeah, I've seen a few Green Bays.
I seen a little while ago. Oh, Christ, what was it? I'm completely blanking. I've seen a couple of Chiefs through town.
Chiefs because they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they've done 2 in a row. They're everywhere. And Taylor Swift's dating Travis Kelce, so of course they are everywhere at the moment.
They are everywhere. Yes. I do like the Chiefs, though.
They're a good team.
Not because of Taylor Swift, although Taylor Swift's music, you should listen to a new album. It's quite good. She's got a good song on there with Post Malone.
I mean, I've been binging the new Eminem albums.
Yeah, I've listened to that quite a few times as well, to be fair. But when I got the kids in the car, I just play Taylor Swift. Daisy can sing to it.
Yeah, it's a little bit different than sticking on a bit of Eminem for Daisy.
Yeah. I see a lot of Chiefs. I've seen a few 49ers and a lot of Raiders, because you've got Primark in town. Primark sells a lot of Raiders stuff, and for some reason they've got Super Bowl winner t-shirts for 49ers and the Chiefs. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
As I say, the Chiefs I can understand, even if it was last year's Chiefs, because they won it 2 years in a row.
Yeah, but they seem to have a championship, Super Bowl winners, San Francisco 49ers t-shirts.
I mean, San Fran hasn't won for a while, I don't think. Double check my facts on this.
The 49ers t-shirt will be the ones that they didn't sell after they lost the Super Bowl. Primark somehow got them.
Yeah, I don't know how they got them, but
I could be wrong, and it could just be championship t-shirts.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. They have won. Sure, they've won Super Bowl.
Not in a long time, I don't think.
No, the last one was 94.
Yeah, this isn't a 94 t-shirt.
81, 84, 88, you were born. 89, Martin was born, and then 94.
See, how they wouldn't still be knocking around t-shirts, would they? Do you know what I mean? Because you know when,
unless they're doing like a vintage.
Yeah, because you know when the Super Bowl was on and the Chiefs won, as soon as they won, the merchandise for Super Bowl winners 2023, 2024. Yeah,
I got emails from Fanatics saying pre-order your Super Bowl jerseys or your Super Bowl t-shirts or whatever. It was literally within like 20 minutes.
Those t-shirts are already out there, ready printed, aren't they?
They're in a warehouse somewhere.
Same with the draft. I actually Googled it because I needed to know this fact that is fucking stupidly useless. When they get drafted, how do they have the t-shirt with their name already on it?
Yeah, see, I see the thing about it.
I had to fucking find that out. They print them there and then. As soon as they've picked them, they then send someone down to the t-shirt printing people to print their name on it straight away. It's
a message sent straight down.
Yeah, they've got X amount of each jersey, haven't they?
Well, I don't know if they have X amount of each jersey, because, of course, you can trade in the draft, can't you, for draft picks and stuff, and acquire more and less and move up and down. Yeah.
What I'm saying is they've got, I don't know, 300 Bears jerseys, 300 Packer jerseys.
They've got a load of jerseys with them, and just because, of course, the jerseys aren't necessarily needing to be worn, they're just for show. So the size is almost irrelevant. It's just as long as it's big enough to see. If
you got drafted, you would want that shirt with your name on it?
Yeah, but you'd probably frame it, though, let's be honest.
Oh, 100%. You wouldn't want to wear it.
No, so that's what I'm saying. Like the size of it's almost irrelevant in the draft. They just have a bunch of shirts that are probably large or extra large, stick the name on it, take it up on stage, present it with the player, whoever's on drafted first round.
Yes.
Second round, they go on stage as well. Second and third, I think, or it's just first and second, I forget. But there's two nights where they do the show, and then there's a third one where it's the rest of the rounds, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just you're just at home or just in the back or whatever, isn't you?
Yeah, you're not there for the draft as such sometimes. But did you see about picking drafts? I saw a thing. I think it was, I can't remember what sport it was, but there was, I think it might have been NBA. I mean, they have a really weird draft. It was one round. But
yeah, I think you did tell me that.
Obviously, you have the players who were invited to the show, blah, blah, blah. They had a guy this year that wasn't invited, but he got all dressed up and he went with his family because he just wanted to be there. It's draft night. He was just happened to be there, and a team picked him. They're like, no, we want him.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was or what team it was. What was that notification?
Yeah, I keep getting loads of them from...
Canada is dominated in the end zone. That must be...
Oh, did you see that thing? The Americans were being beat.
Yeah, Canada, Australia, flag football. Canada is 6-0. 6-0. 12. They're up 12-0. See, I think we should do draft over here for football. We don't do crap like that, do we? We don't do draft day and stuff like that.
Or for regular football.
Yeah, for soccer.
Yeah, I mean, they do it all differently as well. I was actually speaking to a lad about it. They do, with their contracts, they don't do like a free agency like NFL and that do. Excuse me.
Yeah,
they have like they have like a 6-month thing on the contract.
Right. Okay.
So you technically become like a free agent or something when you've got like 6 months left in your contract and you can sign with another team or something.
Oh, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's done quite differently to how a lot of the American sports do it. There's not a
I don't follow.
you reach the end of your contract, then you're a free agent kind of thing.
Yeah, you have to find someone else to sign with.
I think they also don't do restricted free agent, like where you've got a year left and that sort of stuff. But they can loan players to other clubs and stuff as well.
Yeah,
so.
I've seen that. I think over here, our sports are not as big, if that makes sense. We don't celebrate our teams like the NFL, the NBA.
No, not the average teams. Only time we really do that is like World Cup or the Euros. Which have just been on, which was hilarious because we lost that.
I didn't watch it. I
didn't, but I'd said to a lad on like the Friday, said, "What do you reckon our chances are?" He's like, we're going to do well. I reckon we're coming. So I bet we don't.
Well, we got to the finals.
Yeah,
it's the best we've done in since '66 or something.
Oh no! Apparently we'd done semis the year before, like the Euros before it. We got to semis or something. But of course, they called for Gareth Southgate to retire.
Yeah,
the manager.
I can't honestly say I've watched enough of it to even know if that's a good decision.
I can't comment on it. Don't watch it. Don't enjoy watching it anymore. Haven't done for years.
Me neither. It's all they get paid too much money and just cry.
Yeah. I literally seen a video the other day. Some guy led on the floor. Someone kicked a ball. It hit him in the back, and there was such a delayed reaction of when he jumped around on the floor and starts shouting to the ref. There was another one. I think it was in the Euros. A guy chased another guy for the ball. Didn't touch the guy. He's run off with the ball. So this first guy just jumps on the floor and starts calling the ref. And it's like, mate,
help
me.
I hurt myself.
My pride is hurt. I must cry.
Yeah.
Foul.
I suppose we best get on to some NFL rumours. Or no, let's talk about the Eagles now that Jason Kelce is gone. And you have Cam
Jurgens.
Beef Jurgens, they call him, don't they?
Yeah, Beefy Jergy.
Beefy Jergy. I've seen that he 40-yard dash 4.92, 10-yard split 1.71.
So he's actually been with the team a year or two. He was already with the team.
He got drafted last year, didn't he, I think?
I don't know if it was last year or the year before. There was a lot of speculation when they drafted him because he was drafted as a centre/guard, I believe. Everyone's like, oh, does this mean Kelce's now retiring when he was drafted and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
He was 2022 he was drafted. So, of course, it was long before there was any talk of him retiring. Everyone was like, oh, he's going to suddenly retire. And it wasn't. He wanted to be there long enough to prepare him to take over.
It makes sense to prepare your next player by your best player. Yeah. Your best player should prepare the next person. That's what they do with quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Brett Favre was teaching Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers taught Jordan Love.
Jordan Love, like 2 years later, was taken over. Yeah, you're not just going to draft somebody in that kind of position where there is only one person for that position as your starter and then just throw him in.
No, exactly. It doesn't make sense.
And not only that, I mean, if you're going to teach someone that position, who better than Jason Kelce to teach you?
I'm not even an Eagles fan, but what a guy.
That man had I don't know, just had something about him. He could get straight from centre, round the back of the tackles and the guard, and still take out the linebacker going for the running back.
I was watching a clip where he was face on, but covering over here, and he managed to get him, like bounce. So many different clips where he could go from one person to the next, and he said that he would, if he had no one to cover, he would help whoever's on his right. Or on his left, do you know what I mean? Yeah,
if he wasn't trying to go for a linebacker or somebody in the backfield, he was taking out someone on the guard side. But he was just this massive man that could move really fast.
Mm-hmm. Animal.
And he would literally come back behind everybody, follow the running back just in front of him enough that when he's got through the D line and the linebacker's coming for him, Kelsey would just take out the linebacker, the running back would spring free most of the time.
It's what you want in a centre. Why would you not want him to train your next person?
I mean, why a lot of them take the really big centres, because they're a lot better at holding the D-line back. But although Kelsey's undersized considering the norm for centres, he was very fast.
Yeah.
So he could follow the running back.
He was strong as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen too many clips where he failed.
He got put on his ass a few times, but when you consider how many blocks he made, the blocks outweighed him going on his ass.
Yeah.
I mean, he helped keep Aaron Donald off the quarterback how many times? And he's been one of the best defensive tackles in the league for nearly 10 years before he retired.
You can't ask for much more from a centre, can you?
No. I mean, it's if you're going to be trained by somebody, Kelsey's the guy you want to be trained for that position.
Yeah, if he's taking your job, you want him to train you.
Not only that, he was an outstanding leader for the team. He could give a speech that would rally an entire city. You look at his Super Bowl. Look at his Super Bowl speech. It's famous for a reason.
I've watched that 5 or 6 times, I think.
Yeah, it's famous for a reason.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the funniest thing about that is that story he told when he was saying about him, that he was already drunk when he gave the speech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could see it. Do you think they have got a shot to go further this year than they did last year?
Yeah, I mean, if they can put it all together and not fall apart like last season, because there was just a massive collapse. It was
just the last half of the season, really, wasn't it?
Well, up until week 12, they were 11-1. Oh, week 12, week 13, they were 11-1 on the season. They were the only team at that point to have only lost one game.
It's weird because Philly, the second half of the season, went down and Green Bay went up, didn't they? It was so strange.
It was almost like they traded.
We were playing not great ball the first half of the season, the second half of the season. It was great. Wait, Australia, Canada flag game. Canada's had a touchdown taken away. What is going on? It's just going... I think I'm just watching like a clip on repeat. Yeah, I am. Oh my god, that's gay. I don't know how that happened. That I was just watching a clip on repeat. It was a short on repeat, and I thought I was watching a full game for a minute.
I think one of the biggest things about the time difference between here and America is this is when my phone starts going nuts.
Yeah, so
for the X notifications, and I have to silence it at night when I go to bed.
I've got so many notifications right now from X, YouTube, Instagram, X, YouTube, Instagram. That's it at the moment, thankfully.
The other side of it is, of course, it's when everybody's starting training camps. It's when they've got to decide if players are going to be active for the start of the season, who's going to be going for training camps. You get the trade talks. The
closer we get to the beginning of the season, the more we're going to have to talk about on this podcast, because this is going to be a weekly thing. How long have we got till?
Like 50 days or something. So not that long, really. It's like 2.5. It's like a month and a half. Now we're talking 1, 2, 3.
I just googled how NFL starts. What a fucking idiot! NFL
3,
week 1,
4, 5, 6.
What is going on?
7 weeks before, 8 weeks until the first game, until the Philly Eagles game.
6th of September is the
start of the
first game. Yes.
Well, it's 6th of September in America, but of course for us it'll be almost the 7th.
Yeah, so we got... Yeah, we'll have that. Hang on. Notifications. Allow my computer to give me notifications. We got...
The actual start of the season's on the Thursday night with the Ravens and Chiefs.
Yeah, Ravens, Chiefs.
That's the first. Then it's the Eagles, Packers.
Yeah, and then we got Steelers, Falcons, Cardinals, Buffalo, Titans, Bears, Patriots, Bengals on the Sunday. Mate, there's 4 games on...
Sunday, week 1, there's actually a lot of games.
Oh my god, there is, isn't there?
Yeah. You look at my phone and it's just an entire... It's like a full slate nearly.
Yeah, I've got it up on a separate window.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games?
I think the only teams that aren't playing, Ravens, Chiefs, Green Bay, Eagles on that Sunday. I think every other team is playing.
Jets and 49ers on Monday Night Football.
Yes, they are. No, Jets and 49ers are on the Tuesday. Rams,
yeah,
Lions.
Tuesday, because at our time it'll be 1:15 in the morning, so technically it's Tuesday for us.
Yeah, I get that.
It's like always forget the Eagles Packers game. It's like 1:15 for us, but it's actually Friday. It's not the Saturday like it is for us.
British Standard. It's British Standard Time, isn't it? BST.
Yeah, 1:15 in the morning, the Packers-Eagle game starts on Saturday.
Are you going to watch it? You got work in the morning, haven't you?
No,
You're going to stay up and watch it?
I've already booked that Saturday off. I told them I can't work that Saturday.
I'm going to try and watch it. We will have to see. I probably won't be able to because the flag football training camp that club thing I start is actually on a Sunday, not a Saturday. So my first one is tomorrow. I might stay up and watch that game. If not, I'll catch up.
Sorry to interrupt. That, I said about the Americans being beat at half-time was the US men's basketball team were being beat by Saudi Arabia at half-time. They just won it 101-100.
1 point.
Yep, they scored
1 point.
They won the game by 1 point against Saudi Arabia of all places.
That's absolutely crazy, isn't it?
American sports are taking over in other countries. I mean, they got beat by... Who was it that beat them? Their young team in the American football. Do you remember we were talking about it? Was it Japan, China, something like that?
Yes, I think you're right. I think it was Japan. I think you said Japan.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Because it wasn't that long ago, was it?
Was this Contact?
I think so, but it was like the junior team or something. Yeah, 41-20.
Yes, it was. Japan beats USA in football. The 26th of last month.
Yeah, it's like their sports are getting very big in other countries, but it's aired everywhere now. You can watch it almost anywhere.
Especially with the was it DAZN app? Yeah. You can watch that pretty much anywhere now, can't you? NFL. Can you watch basketball, hockey, and baseball?
They've got all sorts of sports on it. I was literally looking at it while I was at work. I think you can even watch I
know you can watch boxing and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's boxing on it. There's all sorts of sports. Let me just have a look. So you got boxing, you got Game Pass, MMA, women's football, golf, basketball, football, padel, extreme sports, chess, wrestling, snooker, esports, motorsport, triathlon, tennis.
Esports.
Yeah,
they done esports at school on Sports Day this year. Esports, Mario Kart is what they done.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see that.
It's not a sport. It's not a sport.
It is these days, man. There's big money in it.
I know there is, and it's absolutely bonkers. But in secondary schools and stuff like that, in primary schools, they're doing esports. Sounds really horrible, but they're deluding kids that they're going to make it as big-time gamers. Not everyone could be a big-time gamer.
No.
We are probably not going to be big-time podcasters, you know what I mean?
No, we're probably not. I mean, if we got, I don't know, 100 subscribers, that'd be something, Yeah.
100 people that want to listen to us drivel on about absolute nonsense in random ways because we got no rhyme or reason to actually talk in a normal context way. This is just how we talk to each other all the time.
I was telling someone at work about deciding that when we were doing this, and I was like, I agreed to do this with my brother and that. He was like, I hope you know a lot about the sport. I was like, what? He's like, I've got to know every last little thing. I was like, well, no. He's like, what? I said, we're not taking it that seriously. We're not trying to be some big-time sports analysers.
We're not trying to be New Heights, the Kelsey brothers sort of thing.
We've not got insider knowledge. We've got nothing.
We've got what we know, being Brits.
What we find on social media.
Yeah. It's
following reports and stuff.
We don't know everything. We don't talk in a way that is everyone can follow what we're talking about all the time because we're random.
Yeah, we're not major people.
We're 1 minute we're talking about the Super Bowl. The next we're talking about how the Eagles are going to do. The next we're talking about
the
draft.
There's no rhyme or reason. It's
all over the place.
I've got ADHD for God's sake. I ain't following no train of logic.
I think it's going to take a long time for us to actually get into a pattern where we're talking about things in an order that makes sense to people.
There's tangents from me, man. I can promise that. I can barely keep a straight thought, let alone keep a straight conversation. If I don't say things when I remember them, I ain't saying them. It just ain't happening.
I know, exactly.
But yeah, I don't think we should try and pretend to be serious. It's pointless. We don't know enough of the reports that come out. We don't know enough of the stats, so to speak.
We're
and all
behind
that kind of stuff
as well. Being in the UK, we're behind by a day at least.
And of course, we've got normal jobs as well, so we can't stay up and watch every last possible game to keep on top of everything and all the after sports shows that come after a lot of it and all that sort of stuff.
We don't get a lot of the after sports and stuff, do we?
DAZN and stuff, once the game ends, stream ends.
Yeah, you get like the Super Bowl. When the Super Bowl was on, there was loads of stuff before
Yep.
it happened, and we don't see that. And same as at the end, we don't see that.
Yeah, it's a lot of the after show, the before show. We got the half time purely because it was a Super Bowl. Regular games, it's just a big commercial break
Yeah,
at
exactly.
half time. So we don't see like any of these 5-10 minute concerts they might do. We don't see any of them.
No, exactly. So we just see what we see. We say what we see. Yeah, it's craziness. Have you been playing the NCAA game? Have you played much of it?
So I played the trial on, what day was it? Wednesday for a couple of hours.
Mhm.
The career thing was okay, but it felt very, very much like...
Yeah, I thought the same thing. It's like Madden, but I didn't think the graphics were as good. The faces weren't as good.
Yeah, it was. There was a lot of the college stuff, the tradition stuff that was advertised only in the intro.
Yeah, you don't get all that the same as you do in the game.
No.
And I've played the career where you join a team yourself. I was playing as a wide receiver, and then I also started doing the dynasty, and the dynasty is dull.
Yeah.
Really, yeah, it's really, really dull in my opinion. Like, you don't actually get to play, you don't actually get to see a game, you get to scout people, build a team, you get to recruit, and you're basically just going down. You know, in between on when you're playing the career, you've got the list of things you need to do for that week. On Dynasty, it's the same, and that's it. Then you go scouting, recruiting, blah, 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 advance to the next week, and then it goes to the next week, and it's exactly the same. I played that for an hour. And I was on week 6. It's long. It is not.
Yes.
I will be sticking to Madden.
I'm not. I was hyped because it looked really good.
Same.
But then when I think back, I never saw any actual gameplay trailers of people playing it.
No, I don't think there was any real gameplay videos leaked into. The only gameplay you get now, there's gameplay videos now, but it is gameplay that people that are playing on TikTok.
Yeah, like the real sweaty.
Yeah.
I've got to beat this. I've got to be the best, and I'm just like, I don't play games for that.
I play games because I enjoy them, not because I want to sweat it out. I'll just stick to Madden.
Yeah, I'm happier with Madden, to be honest.
I never played any other college footballs. I was only hyped up about this one because
I think that's why it got such a big following.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't been around since like 2013, 2014. There's a lot of nostalgia for the Americans. I don't think that it's just the hype is real. I
think Dynasty is the same as Football Manager over here.
Right.
You know, like the FIFA Football Manager or whatever it is. Because you have Pro Evolution. You used to have Pro Evolution Soccer and then FIFA and then Football Manager.
Yeah, there's a few versions.
I don't think Pro Evolution is a thing anymore. I don't think FIFA is a thing. That's FC or something now.
Yeah, I saw that the other day. It was FC 24 or something. It's coming out.
Yeah. I don't know why it's not called FIFA anymore.
No, I think there was some kind of licensing issue or something, but
probably. But I think that's what the Dynasty thing is kind of like. I never really played any of them games. I played FIFA, I think FIFA 17 game free with an Xbox I got once.
I mean, I played one of the earlier versions of it.
Mm-hmm.
FIFA 1 or FIFA 2 or something like that, but yeah, I never got into it.
Yeah. I've played quite a few Madden though. I think I played fucking 20, 23, 24, maybe 19. I don't know.
I was going to say, I've been hopping on and off it for the last few years.
Mm-hmm. I hop in and out. I don't play all of them. I don't play them to the end either, because then I play Call of Duty, I play Fortnite, I play Rainbow Six Siege, or...
Yeah, I hop in and out of games all the time. What's this?
We've got to have some NFL trade rumours to talk about, haven't we? NFC North news. Breaking. The Chicago, way back in 2019, the Bears filed a formal complaint to the NFL stating that the official game ball was not used for Cody Parker's kick versus the Eagles. Instead, the ball was swapped out right before the field goal was attempted with a football that contained magnetic strips inside the leather. After the ball was kicked, it mysteriously went directly towards Trevon Hester's hand. The CPD believes Hester's gloves were filled with super magnets which caused the ball to go directly towards his hand. After a 5-year investigation, a judge will make a ruling today on whether this cause will be dismissed or proceed to trial. Hey? It's called a double doink. Was an inside job. See, these are the things that come up on my X feed all the time.
Yeah. I was just looking up the NFL's latest league updates, like trades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
See if there's anything. I mean, apart from people who were already injured and now having to be marked as injured for the training camp and stuff, it doesn't look like there's been a lot for today.
The last
it's all just injuries.
The last thing I've seen was Commanders President Jason Wright transitions to a new job to leave organisation after the 2024 season. Wright will assume a new position as senior advisor. He said that he will have the same job role this coming season. He's in line to be the next president at Green Bay as well, apparently.
I can't see that happening, to be honest. Mainly because of how much of a dumpster fire it's been. Because that was for the Commanders, wasn't it, you were saying? Yeah, Commanders have been notoriously a dumpster fire for their office for the last couple of years. I mean, their last set of owners were being sued for embezzlement, I think.
I actually follow.
They only do a little bit, mainly because the Commanders are in the same division as the Eagles, aren't they? So I get a bit more of that news.
Yeah, I don't really get that. Doesn't come up on my thing. Any of my feeds, I don't think. This is like literally the last couple of days I've just been looking at more league info, like trade rumours and stuff like that, just to see what's going on, to try and get a bit more sort of information for us before we do anything else.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on at the moment. It's hard to know what is and isn't proper news.
Yeah, you don't know, do you? Like, so many people are saying that. Like this one, Devontae Adams, right? It come up, Devontae Adams trading back to the Packers. So there was 6 or 7 different stories saying he was trading back to the Packers because he was seen with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
And they both wanted to come back to the Packers and blah, blah, blah. Neither of them want to go back to the Packers, as far as I can find. Devontae Adams doesn't want to go back to the Packers because it's too cold in Wisconsin.
I mean, I'm literally looking at a thing from 3 days ago, reported on the NFL, that's saying wide receiver Devontae Adams remains committed to the Raiders.
Oh, I thought he was going to say to the Jets. Because there was a thing going around saying that because he was seen with Aaron Rodgers, he then wanted to go with him to the Jets.
Oh, I think part of that was fueled, I'm just reading this, because he recently opened up about the intriguing trade rumours that were already around about him going to the Jets. Possible reunion, what was it saying? So I'm actively on the Raiders. What do I look like sitting here talking to other people about being on another team? I'm locked in with the Raiders and I feel really good about this team. And as far as I know, they feel good about me. If that ever changes, if that got to a point where they weren't feeling the same way, ain't done playing. So obviously we would figure out whatever needed to figure out. So, of course, people are going to take that and run with it, ain't they?
Yeah. We ain't about that shit. Honestly.
But the thing is, like, it's because they've both played for the Packers. That's why everyone's like, they're going to go back and they're reuniting. They're going to come back like the glory days. The days are gone.
The days are gone. Aaron Rodgers is now with the Jets.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams is now with the Raiders. And if you watch Receiver, he is hungry for a Super Bowl, and he wants to take the Raiders to the Super Bowl. So why would
they've just changed their quarterback, I think, as well, haven't they?
Yes, because they switched their secondary when they got rid of their head coach.
Well, I think it was Garoppolo? Yeah, so they brought in Gardner Minshew. Jimmy Garoppolo got suspended in that, didn't he? And they let him go.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, there was a big thing about it because they drug tested him or something and it come back positive, but it turns out he ate something.
I remember that.
Yes. That was contained an ingredient that was supposedly banned, but he assumed it was safe because it came from like one of his coaches or something, or one of his trainers or something. So he's eating it assuming it's fine. They've tested him, found this substance, and I remember I'm reading about it.
Yeah, I watched SWAT, the TV show SWAT. They were on about one of them ate weed gummies, THC gummies or whatever by accident. And when they were talking about it, it's all dramatic. And one of the wives said to the girlfriend, I can't have poppy seed bagels because if he gets drug tested, it could show up as opioids or whatever.
Yeah.
You have to be careful what you're eating. And there is supplements.
Yeah, if you're playing for a team and stuff, you've got to you've got to make sure you know what you're taking.
I don't know if it's the same over there, but over here for the military, there's a list of supplements they can use, like protein powders and stuff, that are approved to use. And Time 4 was one of those I used to use. And I think there's a little picture on the back of the packet to say that they're assured sports or something stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is one of those things, and you're in sports, there's stuff you can't take, you can't consume. You've kind of got to keep an eye on what you are and aren't consuming. At the end of the day, you're paid millions to follow certain rules. You should be checking what you're doing.
You should. Agree.
But yeah, I think it was just one of those things. There was a miscommunication. He's consumed something he shouldn't have consumed. And I don't think there was any ill intent behind it. I don't think he was trying to get some kind of edge or... No. I don't think it was any bollocks like that.
In the show Receiver, they just swapped out quarterbacks when they got rid of the head coach. They brought in, I think it was the offensive coordinator was then the head coach. And that's when they started picking up in their season, but ultimately they didn't go to the playoffs or anything like that.
No.
I think they needed someone else to lose for them to make it to the playoffs. Mate, there's such a big chunk from when the Super Bowl ended from, I don't know, I was focused on something else between a month or two before the Super Bowl where I missed a big chunk of things that were happening in the NFL. And I can't even remember why I missed all these things in the NFL. Life, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I missed quite a few bits because obviously the Eagles season just tanked towards the end of it, and you get a bit dismayed, don't you? It's like, another one that's ended too soon, and it's like, what's the point of keeping that close of an eye on it? It's like when they were going into their wild card game, I was like, they are not coming out of this.
Yeah, I remember you saying to me they're not coming out of this. Yeah, I definitely remember that. And I focused a lot more on the Packers. Rather than other teams and stuff that was going on around, I was just...
Yeah, well, the Packers had picked up really well towards the end of the season. There was a lot going for them, as opposed to when the season started. Mm-hmm. When the season started, they weren't in the great position. They weren't gelling as such. They were kind of an average team, if you like.
And then just the end of the fucking season,
it just went up.
It skyrocketed.
It was like they got halfway through the season, like, yeah, let's go.
Go, Pack, go.
Yeah. that was essentially what happened.
Wasn't it?
I was going to say, I'm sure you've got a thing of topics somewhere.
A list of 4 people that I found. This was Thursday, so these could be out of date now. Chase Young moving from the Washington Commanders to the 49ers.
Chase Young was the commander. Was on the 49ers. He went to the Commanders.
The way I've got it,
I'm pretty sure. Because he was on the 49ers. I'm 90% sure of that. Let me just look it up. I'm 90% sure last season he was on the Niners.
See, I was looking up trade rumours, and Chase Young moving from the Washington Commanders to the San Francisco 49ers was the first one.
So, yeah, it was... Yeah, so that's an old one. He went to the Niners for last season.
Cheeky. Montez Sweat being traded to the Chicago Bears.
But just going back, Chase Young has gone to the Saints. So
Must
he
be
went...
free agent.
I'm just looking at the Wikipedia page. Look, he went.
That's actually the best
way. He was drafted in 2020 by the Commanders. Played with them till at least the start of the 23 season. He was on their roster. Then the 49ers for 2023 season, and is now listed as the Saints.
Trade proposal has Raiders deal Malcolm Kuntz to star wide receiver. The Las Vegas Raiders could take advantage of their defensive line depth as an all-pro playmaker for the offense.
Who'd you say that was?
Malcolm Kuntz, K-O-O-N-C.
Can't say I know.
I don't know him. No. Still loads of stuff about Brandon Ayuk.
I mean, that's going to be a hot topic. Let's be honest. It's because of how well he did with the Niners. That's why, and because he wants more money. The Niners don't want to pay him. It's going to be a hot topic for a while.
Yeah, of course it is.
But I've just looked it up. Steelers reporter says Pittsburgh could include starting edge rusher Brandon Ayuk, but I don't think...
Did you say
I
the
don't know
Steelers? I seen that.
Yeah.
I seen that.
So was it Steelers? So yeah, Steelers are trying to trade for him, and they're trying to include a starting edge rusher in a trade for Brandon Ayuk. Because they're trying to load up Wilson, aren't they?
I don't know anymore. It's hard to tell.
But, I mean, there's going to be loads of teams that want him. Whether any of them actually get him is going to be the thing. Because the Niners want to make another Super Bowl run.
Yeah, I would be surprised if it isn't Chiefs 49ers the next Super Bowl again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you on that, because Brock Purdy's on his last season on his rookie deal.
Mm-hmm.
You got Christian McCaffrey still. Ayuk's at least got 1 year left on his deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got 1 year
You've
left.
still got Deebo Samuel, who should be healthy now. They've still got George Kittle, he's healthy. They've got a loaded offense.
Yeah, and I think they were number 3 or number 4 defense last year.
Yeah, they've got a hell of a defense.
But the Chiefs have lost a few this season, maybe.
But they've gained a couple.
They got Lewis Rees-Zammit, the rugby player.
He's going in as running back, I believe.
Running back, special teams. He could do anything, I think.
Yeah, but I think because they drafted wide receiver, they already had a good wide receiver or two.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're thinking, at least for the first bit, to try him on returns and running back, see how he does. I think special teams will be where he starts. Mm-hmm. See how that goes, see what his evading skills are like, and see how he gets up the field in an actual game.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I have a feeling they might need someone to replace old Rice. He's not doing very well, is he?
No, I don't think he's doing too well. How many things can you do wrong in the off-season?
It's like there was a checklist and he said, right, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try this and see what happens.
I've got a list of 5 things I want to do wrong this season and I'm going to do 10 of them.
In one night.
Yeah. Oh, mate.
He just went real bad, real fast.
He went rogue.
He did.
He was Mission Impossible rogue fucking nation.
I think the funniest thing, though, was that Butker was going to get kicked for saying things. Rice is still on the team after causing an accident, running from the police, owning up to running from the police, caught with weed, and he's still on the team.
Did Harrison Butker get kicked, though? Did he
get kicked? I don't think he did in the end.
I don't know if he got released. I think it's just come out that he's the highest paid.
Yeah.
I seen something about that yesterday. Just got a new contract, which makes him the highest paid kicker now.
But I mean, people are still kicking off about it. I typed him in. One of the first things that comes up from 8 days ago, Serena Williams says we don't need Harrison Butker after NFL kicking. Yeah, it's going to be a hot topic for him.
That was obviously I knew who he was. He's a wonderful kicker. He's one of the best kickers there is.
There's no argument. He's a good player.
Incredible record. But other than that, I don't know anything about him, and I don't think I've seen any other videos other than that one come out that he said.
I think apart from during the season when the Chiefs had like some astonishing field goal or something, I hadn't heard anything about.
No, and he just skyrocketed in fame with that ridiculous fucking speech that he made.
Well, I think part of the reason he went so viral about it is because apparently he doubled down on it afterwards. After it was people coming out saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be saying this," he's then come out and said, "No, I really mean." Because of course, a few people were saying, "Oh, he might not mean it. It might have been some twisted words, or he said the wrong thing." And then apparently he came out and said, "No, I meant what I said." It's like you're in trouble all over the internet. I said what I said.
I said it and I meant it.
Yeah, it's just like, how dumb can you? I mean, like, you don't go on social media with that kind of thing and then expect it to die down.
Can you imagine it? That speech at the end of it is like, "Thank you and good night."
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't. Once you've been made internet famous and it's not in good light, you shouldn't then come out and say, "Yeah, I meant what I said." You should just disappear into the background for a while.
Yeah, stop.
Unless you're going to come out and apologise for it.
Yes. Apologies were needed. Apologies were not made.
Yeah, that is 100% what happened. So it should have just sort of disappeared into the background.
Yeah. I think we should end it there for now. We will stop recording now. I'm sweating.
Yeah.